Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Everywhere they go. Welcome back. What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast, where you're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way. And in a weekend where obviously we said that we would change the format, we said that we would talk about the title race teams, and last week we said that Liverpool were in a top four race, but they did have the big six fixture of the weekend. And Tottenham went to Anfield. We haven't potted since Tottenham lost at Stamford Bridge as well. So that's now 4 L's in a row for Tottenham. So that's going to be the game we start with. And the first thing I have to say is that's exactly how we predicted it.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, the last week after the Arsenal game, in terms of Tottenham going to Stamford Bridge and Anfield, I think we described how those games were going to go perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, it's all coming down for Tottenham. Like, I think it's really interesting this stage of the season. Obviously, it's the end of the Premier League season, but like, teams are, I can't say getting found out, yeah, but if you were scraping past with performances previously, it's not happening anymore. You know, like, the true reflection, so to speak, of the Premier League is really, really, really showing in these last,
the table doesn't lie.
Yeah, in these last like 3 or 4 fixtures. And obviously looking at it right now, like, Tottenham, to be fair, were probably never a top 4 team. And that's showing now. And like, they were up, they were doing well. And I think Ange does deserve a lot of praise and credit, changing the face, you know, giving fans something to look forward to in a style of play X, Y, and Z. But these last 4 weeks, 4 match weeks, teams know what to do versus Ange, and it's easy, and it's easy for
and that first half, we watched the game. It could have been 5 or 6 at half time.
I was telling you, because we watched the game together. I was telling you that Salah used to be a guy that would always miss those chances, but he would score 1 in 3. And now he's scoring like 1 in 5, 1 in 6. You know, he could have walked away that hat. Should have walked away that hat trick.
Yeah, easily,
you know.
But I think that first half was typical of what I expected. And even Tottenham fans have said that, like, that first half was just cowardice.
Yeah, it's diabolical.
It's just like Tottenham had a good maybe first 10 minutes where they were playing some nice stuff. Basuma was getting on the ball, but after that, I think Liverpool had 18 shots in that first half and Tottenham had 1.
It was bad. It was a complete domination. I mean, 1 shot. Like,
and Tottenham's record at these away grounds, it's like it's 1 win in 18 years at the Emirates. It's 1 win in 33 at Stamford Bridge, and it's 1 in 27 at Anfield.
I think, I mean, those are going to take a long time.
We thought we had a bad.
Yeah, those are going to take a long time to beat. It's taken us a long time to get rid of those records,
and it weren't as bad as that.
Yeah, 100%. I was going to say, I think the thing about Tottenham is that, like, there's such a repetitive pattern in the second half of the season, like slow starters, giving the other team the first half of the game, and then trying to salvage something back in the second half when it's already done. Like, for the last 4 games that they've done, that's exactly how it's looked like. By the Newcastle game, where they just really bent over, everybody else is like, we're going to give you the first half. Then we'll try and salvage something back in the second half, get a goal, get 2 goals. And the fans say, we can take away some positives. But though the opening hour for Tottenham matches, it's terrible.
I mean, the only reason they showed a little fight back, but the only reason they came back into the game was because of how many changes Klopp made.
Yeah, you said it at the time.
Bajcetic was coming on.
Yeah.
What was it? The midfielders, Bajcetic.
Elliot.
Elliot, by the way, I think I'll give him his praise on this show. We had a conversation about Curtis Jones the other day. I do think Elliot is better than Curtis Jones.
100%.
I think Harvey Elliott's quite a tidy player. And he's only 21. I thought he was older than that, but he's only 21. He was kind of running the show in that game, besides his goal, which was a great finish. And I think when Onslaught comes in, I think Elliot could be a big piece of that midfield.
Yeah, no, Elliot is a very tidy player. He's got a lot of talent. And to be fair, he is kind of the Mr. Make It Happen off the bench guy.
He's had a lot of those moments.
Yeah, 100% for Liverpool moving. And he will do that moving forward. But I also think with Liverpool that they benefited from not being necessarily in the title race. There was no cagey nerves about
Yeah.
the game. Like it didn't necessarily. Obviously, they wanted to win the game, but it didn't necessarily matter if they won or lost.
I think they would have won that game anyway.
So no, now I agree with you, but for Tottenham's point of view, I think Tottenham, it would have been a better game for Tottenham if there were cagey nerves, if there was any
definitely.
like one of those ones where it was like, if it doesn't matter how dominant Liverpool were, if Tottenham had that one counter attack in the first half where they got a shot on target, Liverpool fans would have thought, Liverpool players would have thought, that could kill us. We need to be. But because
it was more like pressure on Tottenham because Villa had lost.
Before. And Tottenham have lost 3 games in a row. Like, there is no Premier League team that can lose apart from Sheffield and them, man, who can lose 3 games in a row and not feel any pressure. Like, the fans are gonna get on you. It's been 3 weeks now. Internally, all the you can't just let that run.
And Tottenham fans are talking about Ange's tactics again.
Yeah. I killed him for the details at the North London derby, and nothing
we've
is
seen
much.
Chelsea and Liverpool in that time.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
And he played Emerson Royale in the game against Chelsea, and Emerson Royale got absolutely cooked by Madueke. And then he kept him in at left back to go up against Salah in this game, which is a hard task for anyone. But I mean, he kind of hung him out there to dry. He again had Maddison on the bench. He went with Pape Sarr, Bissouma, and Bentancur.
Yeah, the chop and change now.
Which I'm hearing Tottenham fans say Tottenham should never play a midfield like that of Pape Sarr, Bissouma, and Bentancur. And he's done that, I can only imagine, to try and keep things a bit more solid.
Yeah.
And you've been opened up the way you've been opened up. Like, it just hasn't worked at all. Kulusevski stayed in the team. Like,
Richarlison again
on the bench.
But when he came on, showed something. And I thought his performance after Arsenal would have meant that he would have started in this game, given VVD.
But then he did stink against Chelsea.
Yeah. No, that's
I thought for sure Maddison. I think Maddison's the one to speak about that. I thought he was benched against Chelsea. I thought he'd come back into the team.
Well, we've said everything that needs to be said about Maddison in terms of this.
They were calling him a football genius.
This part of the season.
What's going on?
I think that's the worrying thing about Tottenham, though, is you would have rather, I guess, have had a shitty start to the season and finished well. Yeah, and then said, all right, we know our starting lineup, we know what we can sort of build from going into the next season.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like you started well, and now you have such a sour sort of taste in your mouth as the season ends.
And it will carry on into next season.
And it will carry on, like, Ange now chopping and changing. He's looking at everybody like, who actually can I trust? Yeah. And their players are probably looking at Ange like, am I going to get any rhythm? Yeah. Like, how do I know what you want from me when Højbjerg's in 1 week, he's out the next week. He's in the week after.
Yeah.
Like,
same with Bissouma, same with Sarr. And he's being hypocritical now, because at the start of the season it was,
I'll just play.
I don't get why managers moan about the players that they've got. Just do it, mate. Just coach. Brother, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. These are your players. Don't tell us you need new players.
You can see the stress get into him, and he's barking at guys now on the pitch. That is life when you lose 3 games in a row in the Premier League, and it's like four. When you lose 4 games in a row in the Premier League, like, every game looks more daunting. And Burnley at home, man.
If Burnley lose that game, they're relegated.
So it's all in the line for them.
If Burnley lose or draw,
they're relegated. Don't even a draw.
A draw, they'll be 3 points behind, but their goal difference
will be nuts.
Yeah, so basically,
so Burnley going to bring it.
They have to win that game.
They're going to bring it.
Otherwise, their hopes are done.
And that's the thing. So this kind of jeopardy that Tottenham didn't get from Liverpool. Tottenham will probably dominate the game. But if Burnley come on the counter one time, put a corner in the box one time, Vicario flaps at it, the nerves. Everybody's starting to think, man, we lost 4 in a row. Burnley are fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
Porro starts falling asleep at the back post.
Pedro Porro, by the way. I tried to tell people about Pedro Porro. So I think I do think Tottenham will win that game, because Burnley will gift it to them one way or another.
Yeah, I think it will. There'll be a ridiculous penalty.
But I don't think it's going to be easy.
It won't be easy. No, 100%. But I do think, though, if they don't win that, and even like win it sort of convincingly, Ange won't go enough. And I'm not trying to allude that he's going to. He should start here next season, Ange, for Tottenham.
Yeah.
But if they don't win that game and it's a 1-1 draw, or it's a scraped past
Tottenham fans are like, he's got till October.
It's a scraped past 2-1 win. I think it's going to start to get real scary. And I've already said again on this pod how big a summer Tottenham need to have. Yeah. Like, I wasn't joking when I say Tottenham probably need a new spine. Like,
But the thing is, Tottenham fans will still tell you that Romero and Van der Ven have been two of the best centre backs in the league.
Romero and Van der Ven are probably, you know,
Like, but Bat's genuinely telling us that Brennan Johnson's better than Saka.
yeah, and you know the wingers. Tottenham, it's tough. It's a big summer for Ange. It's a big summer for Ange, and you would have for Tottenham. If I was a Tottenham fan, I would like to have thought that all right, we got the system in place, and they do have some system in place where it's just like all right, let's cherry pick some players to take it to the next level. But I hope the chopping and changing doesn't necessarily dampen the players' confidence in the system and just trying to put in, because then it will be super long for them.
Yeah, I agree. But it's going to be a big summer because if Ange gets backed, which on the history of Daniel Levy and Tottenham managers, he might not. He needs to make sure that he gets the right players that he wants for his system. Because at the moment, he's brought Brennan Johnson, he's brought Werner in on loan, whoever else, Mano Solomon.
Mm-hmm. And so go on.
Yeah, if he brings in his players this summer and it doesn't work, he's not going to have long.
And we said this last week. Don't go and buy Morgan Gibbs White and play Bentancur, Gibbs White, Maddison next season.
If you buy Morgan Gibbs White, James Maddison, his writing's on the wall. He's got 1 year left max.
Unless you can change him into a left winger.
Yeah.
Or some sort of Aaron Ramsey right wing job type of thing.
Well, you'll have to convert Gibbs. There's no way Maddison can go out. You'll have to convert Gibbs White to play off the left.
And there you're killing his game. You're asking him to do one-on-one ISOs with Tomiyasu. Win the aerial
Gibbs White
duels.
can run an ISO.
He can.
He can run an ISO.
I don't think he can run an ISO from a wing position like that, though.
Yeah. Not like, because Andrew's wingers hug the touch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think you kill a lot of Gibbs White's game.
Yeah.
If you just tell him, hug the touchline.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, on the Liverpool perspective, they got their win.
Liverpool got their win. Fans will be happy.
Yeah.
You know, they saw goals, they saw chances, they've got
one more game at Anfield.
Yeah. They'll be happy. I think Liverpool, man, to be honest, like we were killing them obviously, both the league, like both the title race, but ultimately I think they'll be happy with the season they had. If they finish with like 84, 85 points, like that's a good year.
Yeah. Especially considering where we thought they'd be.
Yeah.
The fact that it's meant to be a transition year and whatever. But we'll move it on. One other person I was going to shout out was Jarell Konza.
Yeah, serious.
I think he's come in and he's
holding VVD's hand
to bench.
No, we speak on
he's
it.
Just started to bench Konate, your boy.
It's Konate and Konza next year. What was VVD coming out and saying? He was like, Liverpool are going through transition. I'm going to be a big part of that.
Yeah.
What does that mean? How cryptic is that message?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's already done an interview saying, I don't know where my future lies. I'll take two on-slot training sessions before VVD makes his decision. But yeah, no, Jarell Konza, he's come in. And in a time where Liverpool, like he played at Old Trafford in their league game, he played at West Ham last week, he stayed in the team this week. And for a young centre-back to come in, I know he is alongside Van Dijk, so it'll make it a bit easier, but he's done well.
Yeah, he has done well. I actually like Konza. I'm not gonna lie. He's a good prospect.
And he looks tidy on the ball as well.
Yeah, you know, he does. And he's gonna pause, he's gonna fill out. Like he's a little bit lanky, but if he gets in the gym, does some weight work.
He could be the next Van Dijk.
He's already holding his hand, so to be fair, one of our Liverpool player that I don't know if he needs a shout out, but worth a mention, and maybe more so to discredit Tottenham, is Cody Gakpo. Because I said it. I was like, Tottenham are going to make Cody Gakpo look like a player. And Cody Gakpo was coming up with goals and assists.
They made him look like Drogba.
Yeah.
See that header?
He's doing what he wants.
Towering over
He's dinking balls in the box for back post tap-ins.
Getting time and space.
Yeah. Shout out to Cody. I guess, you know, he actually probably has decent numbers, Cody.
Yeah.
But
look, we'll move it on to the title race and the early kickoff, Arsenal versus Bournemouth. Sunny afternoon at the Emirates. Arsenal handled their business as they should, as was expected. I was starting to get worried that we were going at 0-0 at half time.
Yeah.
And it would get a bit long after we missed so much. It should have been 4 or 5 in that first half.
Yeah.
Eventually, Saka steps up. He scores the pen, and that's now 16 goals and 9 assists in the league.
Yeah,
for
Saka's
Saka.
crazy. We were saying this.
I didn't even know his
oh.
numbers were that high.
Oh, I was saying this. I was speaking to
16
my
and 9 in the league.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was saying Saka, the scary thing about Saka is once he's 25, and he's had 4 seasons or 5 seasons of having 10 plus goals, potentially 10 plus assists, or at least 4 seasons of double figures in goals.
Yeah.
It's going to come to a point where it's like he has all confidence in the fact that he should just be able to get his.
Yeah.
You know how like we see when you watch like comps on Twitter, like the old Thierry, and I don't say Saka's going to be Thierry Henry, but that arrogance that Thierry Henry used to have in games, where it was like, I'm going to bag today.
Yeah.
You know, no matter where we were. Same thing.
Become a numbers guy.
You saw maybe not even like a numbers guy, but even like an Eden Hazard, where it was like the certain like performances or like
No, go on. That's a big statement.
It's not. I'm not saying that he's gonna be Eden Hazard.
Yeah,
I'm just saying in terms of like there'll be certain games, title race games, where it
you
was just like
leave your footprint.
you just knew Eden Hazard was gonna ball today, and the way Eden Hazard balled, the arrogance that he had was like, I'm a 25-year-old guy and I know I've got it. Like I'm 25 and 26.
Saka in that Tottenham game was very much
that. Exactly. I've been doing this for a couple years now. I've cooked however many left backs in the last 3 to 4 years, and I'm seeing that now growing within Saka, where it's just like each year when he gets these numbers. Whenever he steps on the pitch in all these big games, small games, the must wins, the Champions League games, he's going to be stepping on the pitch thinking, of course I'm going to wrap this chance. Of course I'm going to take this penalty. Of course I'm going to.
And the thing with Saka, which is maybe why I didn't even notice that his numbers were this high, is that he's not like even a Hazard or a Mahrez or a Salah who will have like 5 in 3 games.
Yeah.
Or go on a run like that.
Yeah.
But he will just consistently tick over.
Yeah, agreed.
1 game goal, 1 game goal, 1 game goal, and just keep moving over. Like, to be honest, Saka doesn't score many braces.
No.
He'll pick up like a goal and an assist in every game and stuff, and it just keeps ticking over. And to do it that consistently, we've spoken about how he was kind of carrying this attack in the first half of the season.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, to put up those kind of numbers in a team challenging at the top shows the level he's performing at.
He's performing at a crazy level, and as I said, the best thing it will do for him is just his confidence and arrogance going into next season. Like he's going to look at the numbers you got this season, next season, and think, I'm just going to do better than that. I'm going to beat those.
Yeah,
and
I think he's got that like inner belief and motivation to want to keep getting better.
100%, and I think he. 100%. He would love to see a year-on-year progression.
Yeah,
in everything, numbers, output,
But like, 16 and 9. I know there's only 2 games left, but even if he gets to 18, he's very close to Sadio Mane numbers. Like seasons Liverpool won the league, Sadio Mane would get 22 million and 6 or 7 assists.
Yeah, I mean the double doubles,
like 18 and 10.
Getting a guy who consistently get you double doubles is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
the last under 22 player to get back to back 10 plus goals, 10 plus assists was Wayne Rooney, the greatest ever English talent.
Another guy who in the big games, in the big title race games, just had this certain swagger when he turned, like he was always good, he was always, world class, whatever you want to call it, but he turned 25, 26, and it was just like, oh yeah, well, Wayne's just going to turn up and decide this game.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Rooney was doing that
from day dot.
Like 20.
But it's still AIG, it got to another level.
Rooney was a freak though.
Yeah. But I want Saka to get into, and I'm not saying that he's going to be as good as any of these guys that we've just mentioned, but just confidence, ability wise, when it comes to when the camera pans in the starting 11, and it's panned into them, and you just like Ronaldo used to have. Remember, you've seen the Ronaldo Champions League one, where it's just like, he's going to be on crud.
Ronaldo's doing his jumps.
Yeah. Declan Rice has got that too.
Yeah.
To be fair,
and Declan Rice got to speak on it. Goal and an assist, a lovely assist for Trossard's goal.
Yeah.
And then in the 97th minute, there's like no Arsenal player making a run, and Declan Rice bursting.
He's demanding for it.
Full speed, full sprint in the 97th minute to go and get his goal. Nice little play from Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, no look.
And where's Declan Rice when we look at it now in terms of signing of the season?
He's got to be in, I would say, everybody's sort of top 2 conversations, top
It's him
3
or Cole
conversations. Yeah, that's those are the only
So
2 people.
For me, there's no one else in.
Those are the only 2 people that came to mind for me. Is there anybody else that is worth a mention?
And out of those 2, for me, Kai Havertz, but out of those 2,
I think McAllister's been all right, but he would be.
he's not on that level.
Yeah, he would be third by some way. Out of those 2, I would go with Rice. If Cole Palmer had won the Golden Boot, calm. I'd have given it, even if he had finished 10th.
He's won a lot of points for Chelsea.
Yeah, even if he had finished 10th, I would have given it to Cole Palmer if he'd won the Golden Boot, because that is crazy. Pens or not, whatever, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But, and this might be the final nail in the coffin. No, but as I was saying, I would lean Rice anyway. But if Rice goes to OT and he doesn't even need a goal or assist, I'm not even going to say that, but puts in a similar sort of performance.
Just does what he does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we go beat an OT then.
And we know about Old Trafford, the massive pitch.
Yeah, what it's going to take.
Rice's legs in there could be. I remember one of my mates is a United fan once saw a Man United West Ham game, and I think Man United won 1-0. But he messaged me afterwards because I've been on the Declan Rice train for a while. He messaged me afterwards and he was like, "Yo, Declan Rice he's the truth. He's everywhere on this pitch, and I need that from him on Sunday." But yeah, great game.
Where do you stand? Where do you stand with Cole Palmer, Declan Rice?
For me, and this is I said this when we did our top 10 signings list, and I was like, Declan Rice's value as a transfer to Arsenal and whatever will be judged by what Arsenal win.
The trophies, yeah.
Where because we can put a Maddison, we can put even like a Van der Ven or whatever, a McAllister, Cole Palmer in these kind of lists because we're just going to judge them kind of based off what they do, their goals and their assists, how they perform. But for Declan Rice, like we all know, he came to Arsenal to kind of be the difference maker and take this team to a place that they couldn't get to last year.
Yeah,
and ultimately that's how he's going to be judged. So if Arsenal win the league, it's Declan Rice. 100%.
Do you know what? I of course I agree with that. I also do think though that,
and it shouldn't matter that much because Arsenal could win both their last games. It could be unbelievable, and just the fact that we haven't won the league probably isn't like fair for me to say he's not signed.
That's what I was gonna say is last season we got 84 points. Yeah.
We could get 89.
Is that, and it sounds ludicrous.
5 points is a lot.
It sounds ludicrous, but it's not 5 points from 40 to 45.
Yeah.
It's from 84 to 89. Yeah.
I think Havertz is a massive part of that.
Havertz is a massive part of that.
Part of that.
100% has to be said. But would you spend 100 million on somebody? Would I spend 100 million on somebody to make that difference between 84 to 85 or 85 to 90?
Yeah.
Because you now know if you're getting 90s, you probably,
Yeah. You can. I was in the stadium singing "We Got Him Half Price."
Yeah.
But the only reason is because I think Cole Palmer's had an unbelievable.
Yeah, he's been crazy.
I think what Cole Palmer's done, regardless of whether he wins the Golden Boot or not.
Yeah, young player of the year.
I think I think so. The sheer amount of points that he has won for Chelsea.
They're above United now.
Exactly. They could end up playing Europa League.
This is crazy,
right? I think, and without him, without his goals, without his assists, just kind of holding that team. We talk about Saka carrying an attack.
Yeah.
Right. And obviously it's different because Saka's carrying an attack at the top of the league.
Yeah.
But Cole Palmer is still carrying this attack like without any real help from other guys. Obviously Jackson's chipped in with his goals now. But and I also, we got to remember, this is Cole Palmer's like first professional season kind of thing, right? The first time he's playing these kind of games. The fact that he left Man City, I think there's a lot of respect I have about that transfer and him choosing to go there and play every week, play how he wants to play.
Yeah, no, I agree. To me, he'd be a nailed on young player of the year, and then whoever wins the title between Rice and Foden should probably get player of the year.
Foden's had a good season, but it's Rice or Rodri. You
think Rodri will care? I mean, I'm beating Run does speak for itself.
No, I don't think Rodri, because they will give it to Foden for the prop and everything.
Yeah.
But we don't need to do that here. We can just be honest.
You know what? I would give it to Rodri, but I would also give it to Phil Foden. I can't lie, because and that is just including the prop bias and everything, because Foden has scored 20 whatever goals, no pens. He's held it down. He's been fit. He's played all season. KDB's been out. All these guys have been out. He's done his thing. And when you look back, Foden's already got 4 Premier Leagues or however many he has. Yeah, kind of like how we look back now at the Young Player of the Years and the FPAs. When you're like, oh yeah, when there's certain players, Thierry Henry and all these kind of guys, when you're like, oh yeah, like of course he has one of those. I think Foden doesn't need to be. Rodri will always get that love.
I think the difference between that Man City team without Foden or without Rodri
is that's true. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I would 100% agree with that.
Like I still think
no one can ever argue that Rodri doesn't deserve any award.
We've spoken about Rodri like kind of last year, just telling the world I'm the best number 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
And now he's decided to add goals and assists to his game, doing the job of Gundo in the 8. They didn't even need to replace Gundo because Rodri just took up that workload.
And the G's and A's, it's not even like it's purple patches.
And to be fair, this is a good time to move on to Man City. We obviously won 5-1.
Yeah.
Against
Wolves.
Yeah,
comfy.
And any debate of Cole Palmer might win the Golden Boot, Erling Haaland.
Yeah, he shut that down. Even guys were saying Solanke, Watkins, they all like, who's...
Went and scored 4 at home. 2 were pens. The other 2 were very nice goals. The header, he leaps up. Like his knees are like at Semedo's head.
But I told you from time when I start seeing KDB running with intent and purpose, I know what type of day it is.
And I mean, the 4th goal, the Foden ball, the touch, the cut in, the wrap. And Rodri picked up 2 assists in that game.
That's what I'm saying about Rodri. Yeah. It's not purple patch assists. Yeah, it's not like in October he stat padded and got 5 goals, 5 assists, and then blanked until February, and then got another sort of 2 here type of thing. Rodri's been pretty consistent throughout the months of getting a goal, getting an assist. So every other game, every 2 games, he has more than Rice, and Rice has an unbelievable. No Arsenal fan would have ever have predicted Rice to get this many G's and A's. Yeah, it would have been out of this world.
We were all content with the fact that he wasn't going to match Granit Xhaka.
If when we had signed Rice, I had told you Rice was going to get 15 G's and A's. Let me speak for myself. Yeah, if somebody had told me when we had signed Rice, by the way, he's going to get 15 G's and A's with this 100 mil. I said 15 G's and A's. We must win the league if Rice is getting 15.
There's no way we can't.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Saka's gonna get his. Everybody's gonna get his, and Rice is getting 15. Rodri's got 17, 18, whatever the hell it is. Like to even, this might be Rice's best output ever in a season. And so for Rodri to even be better than that still, and he's playing deeper and all the rest of it,
for me, I think we both said once it went 2-0, we stopped watching.
Yeah, I gave up.
And for me, I think Wolves just tried to be too brave. And this is the issue that sometimes we'll see teams go to the Etihad and whatever, sit 10 behind the ball. Even Ashley Young was talking about this on Monday Night Football. He was like, we'll go there and we'll try and like set up deep and get men behind the ball, but we know we have to have a threat because we have to score a goal.
Yeah.
He was like, if you just try and sit there for 90 minutes behind the ball, Man City will break you down and they will get a chance and they will score. So you have to have a threat on the counter to try and get yourselves a goal because you know that they will score one.
Yeah.
Right. And teams will go there and sit deep, but then Gary O'Neill's gone there and decided to try and like play ball, press high.
Yeah.
Like the amount of times in the first 15 minutes that Wolves were caught with like a 3v2. I was like, the writing's on the wall for this game. But Man City just gonna win every game.
They probably are. I saw Fulham players flying kites earlier today. I saw Muniz, but I mean, it's gonna come down to those 2 games. I don't really have much hope that City drop points, but I do have a sneaky feeling like if Arsenal were to win the league, obviously this is how it has to happen. But if Arsenal were ever to win the league this season, it would probably be because of some freak shit that happened.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you've been saying that since that was over.
It was always going to be in the most dramatic fashion. It was never going to be because we won by 5 points and, we won it at OT and like we, ran away with it type of thing. It's always going to be, at least for this season. Not next season, we can get a strike and just be the best team in the country. But for this season, I think it was always going to be one of them ones where it was in the most dramatic fashion.
Yeah.
And this is also Pep Guardiola that we're talking about here. Like, such a psychopath. He hoovers up these points. He hoovers up the pressure.
After every game, in his presser after every game now, he's like, we have to win every game.
Yeah, like,
he was like, if we draw a game, Arsenal will win the league.
And look, they're on a 25 game unbeaten run. Like, it's calm, Pep. All right, 25 games unbeaten run. Like, Arsenal fans are gonna dissect. If we lose the tie, we're gonna dissect. Oh, where did we go wrong? What happened? Was it this game?
You can't even do that this year.
Yeah, was it that when the team goes 25 games unbeaten? You could go back 25 games. It could be the Fulham game, or earlier in the season. It could be the West Ham game. Like,
everyone will point to the Villa game.
Yeah.
Like, and this is why after the Villa game, I was kind of sat here like, when you do take a step back from it, in 2024, we've drawn 1 and lost 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Played like 15 or 16.
Yeah.
Like, but that's why I think if that does happen and City win every game and Arsenal win their last 2 games, this Arsenal team will come into next season, hopefully. Obviously, I'm just speculating.
But what I will say is,
but come into next season thinking we have to win every game.
Like, the fanboy in me does put my chips on Fulham. Marcus Silva, obviously, I'm sure he wants to get one over Pep. Willian, you owe us. Full stop. Yeah.
I think of the 3 teams, I think Fulham have the best chance.
Iwobi,
but that's not a good sign.
You owe us. Yeah, I know. Iwobi, you owe us. Muniz, it's time. Step up.
Iwobi's not stepping up. Iwobi's not stepping up. Andreas Pereira could step up.
Deco Doveri, heard you was an Arsenal fan from time.
Paulinho, monster class.
Yeah, I need Paulinho to neutralize Rodri and then make it a feg.
I need Paulinho to neutralize Rodri, KDB, and Foden.
Yeah, but I don't hold much hope.
No, I think it's looking ominous, looking like City will win every game and they'll go on and win a 4th. And look, if that happens, as much as like we want Arsenal to win the league, sometimes you just have to sit back and think like, yeah, fair play.
Yeah.
4 in a row.
It doesn't hurt anywhere near as much as last year. Like, I'm coming away with a lot. I was pride. I had a lot of pride last year, but like a lot more pride this year.
Again, last year I was still quite proud of the team.
Yeah, I agree.
Because of where we should have.
But there was that tinge of like, man.
But this year, like, it won't.
I can watch Premier League years.
I've said this to you after winning that Tottenham game. It's just a bit like
I can watch Premier League years for 2023, 2024 to the end, to the absolute end.
Yeah.
Whereas last year, it's like, as soon as we start getting to March, I'm like, well, is there anything else on? Because I know that.
Yeah. It's true. But look, we're hoping that Pep Guardiola and Man City's era comes to an end, and that's a famous quote. Eras come.
That's your best segue yet.
Yeah.
You've stepped it up.
Yeah,
Coming towards the end of the season, 4th quarter.
Hey, I've been making notes. But look, eras come to an end, and Erik ten Hag has ended his own. It is over for Erik ten Hag. It is well and truly over. There's no way Ineos. Even you just strip it away from football and strip it back completely. If that's an employer and that's your an employee, like I saw like Flex or something say, if you're my financial advisor and I'm losing thousands every week, I'm gonna come to you and be like, "What are you doing?"
The guy, 100%.
And Erik ten Hag is not showing anything to Ineos, to anyone that's going to make the decision that he's capable of taking this Man United, regardless of what he says himself, that he's capable of taking this Man United team back to where the fans want to be. And on a Monday night at Selhurst, and the worst thing about Man United is that we can now lump them in with Tottenham in the sense of the predictability.
That's what I'm saying.
Of their fixtures.
Yeah.
Like we
found out.
Tottenham have always, to Arsenal fans, people who aren't Arsenal fans or Chelsea fans might not be aware of this, but Tottenham have always been a team where you can look at their fixture list and tell you where they're going to
circle certain games.
Right. There were a couple of surprises this year. I think they went to Palace on a Friday night, or they went to Nottingham Forest on a Friday night, and they got wins there. But there are certain fixtures in the Tottenham calendar that they're going to lose this game. And Man United, this one at Selhurst Park on a Monday night, I knew it. I knew it was coming. And I didn't think it'd be a 4-0. I thought it might be a 2-1 or a 3-1. But the way the tone is set for that game on Elise's first goal that comes straight from a throw-in, He goes past Casemiro like he's not even there. Casemiro, by the way, got crucified by James.
Yeah,
Milner.
I've never. That was bad. I actually think
Um,
it was harsh. Like, and I know that's easy to say, but like,
yeah.
I agree.
What did he say? Leave the football before the football leaves you.
He told him, pack your
Crazy.
bags, MLS or Saudi. That's
Crazy.
it.
You know that clip of China,
Yeah.
Al Ali,
Yeah.
Al Itifak. Pick up the phone, brother. But look, man, that first goal.
The first goal is beyond.
and I've spoken about Kobe Mainoo's athleticism on this pod before.
Yeah, Kobe's played.
And I'm not here to get onto Kobe.
No.
He's a young kid.
It's not a
Monday
Kobe
night
game.
at Selhurst.
Yeah,
Yeah, Adam Wharton showing you levels.
Mm.
It's a tough place
Adam-
to be.
that's it for me. That's the biggest takeaway from the game. Yeah, obviously United depleted, team, whatever. But Crystal Palace were comfortable enough to play a two-man midfield of Will Hughes and Adam Wharton, and they looked at Kroos and Modric. Seriously, they looked like Kroos and Modric in there.
Yeah, fully.
And that was
I've been telling you about Adam Wharton.
no Adam Wharton.
Finally, Palace don't sign a combative midfielder. and look at
No
what-
Milivojevic. No.
No Koyate. No Lerma. No Decore.
Yeah.
And look at what they're doing.
No, but that was my biggest takeaway.
See the
Was
smile Elise and Eze are playing with.
I was staying in the group chat. Wharton and Hughes were everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they're winning every second ball. They're winning every
Crunching into
50-50.
tackles,
Yeah. They're keeping the tempo. They're moving it. They're keeping it ticking. And no one in the United midfield is laying a glove on them. Like
That I said this before Mateta's goal, which is a great finish
yeah, it's
off
ridiculous.
his left
finish.
foot. Man United lose 3 50-50s in a row in the middle of the pitch before that ball ends up at Mateta.
So that's my biggest takeaway is for Ten Hag, like obviously, yeah, you're missing some good players, whoever's out, Bruno, all these guys is out, yeah. But kind of like we was killing Doc Rivers, when your star players out, that's actually more of them. It's on the manager, X's and O's. Get the guys ready, get the boys in shape, tell them the game plan and execute. And if Oliver Glasner is comfortable enough, yeah, to put Hughes and Wharton in there, thinking, yeah, they're gonna boss it, then
Yeah.
you've like that's it. That's for me the like
Where,
a 12th place Crystal Palace, and all of Crystal Palace are in form. They're playing well. Crystal Palace deserve a lot of credit and a lot of recognition. Yeah, and it's not even that Crystal Palace won. It's the manner in which they won. It's how they bossed it. Like you can't be outcoached. Have something for that game plan.
Yeah.
Have something for that game plan.
Well, it's very simply, if you've got 2 in midfield coming up against a 3 in midfield,
And Chris Richards is not
then
even.
you should always be getting overloaded. The 2 in midfield should not dominate the ball
Yeah, the way.
against the opposition that has 3 in there.
Yeah,
It should never, ever. That's why you'll never see guys like Pep and Arteta ever play 2 in midfield. They've already got 3 in there, and they're bringing a fullback in.
yeah.
Right?
And you're telling a winger to tuck.
yeah. Bernardo Silva's
Yeah.
rotate coming inside because they want to dominate the ball. So how that's happened is beyond me.
And that's
But-
the damning thing for Ten Hag. It's
Yeah.
been so consistent.
and the thing for Man United is that I don't actually think these players are like there were times where I would look at Arsenal teams, and maybe Man United fans will tell you differently, but there were times where I look at Arsenal teams and I think, yo, these men are not giving 100%.
Yeah, we've seen that.
I don't look at this Man United team and really think that. I just think they are that badly coached.
You know what? I agree with you 100%.
I said they were one of the worst coach teams in the league. I said Eric Ten Hag was one of the worst managers in the league. And I genuinely believe that.
I agree with you, but I do think Onana's throwing them in. I do think it's come to a point where Onana's
That fourth one
has down
has
tools.
gone straight down the center of the goal.
It wouldn't shock me if Onana in a very, very, very secret group chat, he's whispering to people, yeah, I'm just going to let them in so he goes. Just,
Wait, but Ten Hag's his guy.
he can't, he's not.
Ten
You
Hag's
know.
the one who fought for him.
I-
through the drugs ban, through everything. Ten Hag was like, yeah, 50 million, I need this guy.
Yeah, I agree with you though. The players are trying. The problem, and Flex was saying it, the problem United fans have now is you've scapegoated everybody. Bruno's not there, Rashford's not
Yeah.
there. All the Sancho's not there anymore. McTominay's not in midfield. Yeah, Luke Shaw, all the guys that you've scapegoated, Maguire, all the guys that you've scapegoated are gone, and there's nothing, even down to the bare bones. There's no fight. Yeah, and before you could criticize those guys, they're earning a lot of money, but they're not running around for the badge type of thing. Now you've got guys in there who should be running around for the badge. You've got nothing else but to prove your name. Who, and we've said it before. I'll say it again. It starts from the first goal, from a throw-in. Yeah, when Casemiro's getting sent like that and nobody's stepping up. Yeah, Mateta, he's looking unruly out there, man. He's
the tuck shirt.
Yeah, Ineos have an easy decision, and they 100% are going to let go of him, and it will be immediately after the FA Cup final is done, regardless of the result. I think even if he wins it, it'll be like, yay, Ten Hag, thank you for everything, and But like it will come, and I think Ineos have actually probably been kind of classy in like didn't have much options, but like not sacking him, coming in and like ripping him out early.
Yeah.
And they will try and give him a little sort of send off, but he will go.
Yeah.
A day, 2 days max after the FA Cup final.
He has to.
Who do you think comes in though?
I think on this manager merry-go-round, whoever ends up with Thomas Tuchel has won.
Yeah.
I've been speaking to Arman about Poch because Poch has kind of picked up in form and whatever. And I'm like, unless you can get Thomas Tuchel, there's no better manager out there than Poch, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Poch is there at Chelsea, and I probably said the opposite a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But
I've always been in that corner.
Now look.
But look, Thomas Tuchel, I think if Man United, that's the guy Man United need to go and get.
Yeah,
I fuck all this like when they were like, no, Conte doesn't fit. When Neville's like, Conte doesn't fit the ethos. He won't work at Manchester United. Fuck all of that. Bring Thomas Tuchel in because he's levels above any other manager out there.
I did say
tactically, he won't get schooled.
I did say this a couple of weeks ago. Is the one thing Man United cannot do, is bring a manager in and be tactically behind again.
Southgate.
Again, you can't be 3 managers deep, or who tactically don't have it.
But they thought Erik ten Hag was that.
Yeah.
After Oli.
Yeah,
who was the vibes guy?
Yeah.
And this now under Ten Hag, by the way, is the worst Man United have been post Fergie.
Yeah, I mean they're 8th.
Worse than Moyes.
They're 8th.
Right, Moyes is on the merry-go-round.
They
could pick up Moyes.
You sturdy.
European trophy. In
the steady the ship.
But look,
they've been found out. Not found out in the sense of like, tactically, of course, they've been found out a long time ago. But in terms of performances, before they were scraping through with the points and poor performances, and now they could have genuinely seen their last win in the calendar year or in the season.
Yeah.
And
remember I said Man United could lose the last 4 games.
Yeah, and it's such a legitimate possibility.
Got Arsenal, Newcastle, and Brighton.
And it will probably be the best thing when we finished 8th. Yeah. With nothing else to go for us, it was one of the best things for us. We had a good manager at the time, has to be said.
Yeah.
But you can renovate. Extreme.
Yeah.
If you get a good manager in.
But for a club like Man United to not play any European football.
It'll be bad.
That's never happened to them.
But they need it. It's not even that they don't have such a bloated. They have a bloated squad, but they don't have such a bloated squad where they need to give everybody FA Cup games and stuff. You can get a core 11. You could get 15 players and work from there.
The blueprint's there.
yeah.
Mikel's shown you.
Yeah. That's all United need. No European football, 15 players, run for the badge, work hard, good manager, good tactic. You'll probably have a similar record actually, but there'll be progress moving forward.
Yeah.
As soon as you start to grow. But last night at Crystal Palace, so familiar.
Yeah. Thoughts on Casemiro?
I mean, I actually think look, on the game that Casemiro had,
me and my dad were watching it. My dad was like, it's actually sad.
It's a Barclays disaster class.
He was like, to see what this guy was at Real Madrid, it's actually sad to see him go out.
You speak about Jefferson Montero.
Yeah.
This is that. It's not even
it's
that
not
one.
That level.
It's not one winger cooked him, but this is that disaster class where we'll refer to this. I guarantee.
It'll be Casemiro that Monday night at Selhurst.
Yes, I guarantee you there will be a still image, of once a defender has a stinker, VVD, whoever, once they have a stinker a year, 2 years time, a still image of Casemiro at Selhurst Park. It's locked in the Barclays universe. And I actually do think that, as I said, I think Jamie's harsh. I think Casemiro he's lost it from Madrid in terms of he'll never be that guy again. But I don't think he's like who he was yesterday consistently.
No.
I think if you bring a new manager in,
I think that was a bad performance.
yeah,
yesterday.
I think if you bring a new manager in,
a guy like
Thomas Tuchel, Casemiro will have something to show for himself, but it won't ever be Real Madrid-esque. But he's only 31. He can still sort of. Last season, he was top three in the. Like
you can't leave Casemiro, not just Casemiro, Kobe, whoever, on an island in midfield to cover that much space and that much ground.
And the problem he has is as well. I was saying he's got Johnny Evans next to him who failed a fitness test. It doesn't excuse his mistakes. Yeah, but mentally he's thinking, I have to do 3 or 4. I have to be a DM.
Got Dallo outside having Pedro Porro there. Onana behind him.
But shout out Palace. I don't think shout out Palace, man. Palace have done really well. Elise, Eze, they've been balling. Oliver Glasner, he's been balling. My brother and my dad were trying to say a bit too much. I feel like, unfortunately, and I'm gonna give Oliver Glasner his credit and his love, but I feel like Crystal Palace will
eventually become the same.
They will lose 6 of their first 10 next season. They'll lose 6 of their first 10 next season.
And they'll start asking the same questions about Glasner that they asked about Vieira.
Yeah.
They were saying about Roy.
Yeah. And then a new manager will come in and he'll kill it for the second half of the season, get them up to 12th.
Yeah.
And then he'll lose the first 6 of them.
Repeat.
Yeah. But for now, this is as good. This is sweet.
But this Palace team, as far as I can see it, this Palace team can go as far as Eze and Elise allow them to. Right? If they lose one of them,
do you think they can honestly? Do you think they can keep on to both of them, or do you think?
I think one of them will go in the summer. At least one of them.
The problem I have is, I think both of them will go.
Yeah.
Or like both of them will.
But I don't know if Palace can. Yeah, but both of them. But that's where it's a game of cat and mouse between Eze and Elise, because whoever goes first, the other one's locked down. You can't let both of them go in.
But that's the problem. Look, they both signed new contracts this year. At least they definitely signed a new contract.
Because he was about to go to Chelsea.
He was about to go to Chelsea. Yeah. He definitely signed a new contract. I don't know what Eze's contract is saying, but like for example, I think if Eze goes, Elise is just he's gonna look
his way out.
Yeah. I don't know. It gets real tough. It gets real tough.
But from the Palace board perspective, they can't let
both of them go
in the same window.
It's like Rice and Paqueta for West Ham last year.
Yeah, exactly.
You let one go for 100 mil, but the other
Alexis
one has to.
and Ozil.
Yeah. Quite literally.
You can't let them as a football institution. You can't, no matter what the money on the table is, you can't let them both go in one window.
But one of them needs to go because
then Glasner will go 7 losses in the first 10.
Yeah, one of them needs to go because unfortunately, as good as Will Hughes and Wharton were, don't do that for 38 games.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and Elise and Eze are both probably looking at it like they both know they're good enough to play some form of European football.
100% they want to play European football. Why would they not? And the longer you wait,
Elise, in my opinion, could play Champions League football.
I think Eze can play Champions League football.
I think Elise's game is more
suited,
readily.
Yeah, plug and play. I agree because he knows his role 100%.
Exactly, to the Champions League. I think Eze could get there, but I think Eze is one of those guys who I would want to see play Europa League football before I see him get to Champions. I think Elise could seamlessly transition to a Champions League team.
Yeah. I mean, his left foot is way too cultured. You could see it.
I'm seeing Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah. I hear that. I mean, we'll see. Shout out to Crystal Palace though. You done your thing.
Yeah. And look, Monday night at Selhurst, when a big team comes, as long as it's not Arsenal, I will always be there. Always be there. But yeah, moving it on. Chelsea versus West Ham.
Yeah.
Chelsea are finding some form. Pochettino's changed his tactics. He started putting Cucurella in midfield. Ever since Enzo left the team.
On a madness. Caicedo's moved to another level.
Crazy upturn.
Yeah.
Caicedo balling.
Yeah. Badishio's looking comfy back there.
But that was the best game I've seen Badishio play in a Chelsea shirt.
Yeah, he's looking comfy back there.
His distro was
on
point.
Go.
Yeah. he balled in that game. He balled out in that game.
Jackson.
Yep.
Palmer getting his.
Noni.
Yeah.
He's ripping fullbacks for fun.
It's so funny that Chelsea have dragged their fans through the mud so much that Chelsea fans can they're so tentative to wallow in this celebration.
Yeah.
They're so nervy to start saying good things
Because
about.
they're still scared they could lose the last 3 games.
They're so nervy to start saying good things about, you know, like Badiashile or X, Y, and Z. But I do agree, like Poch for the last couple of weeks or whatever, he's found some consistency in certain players.
Like we've been having the conversation about Chelsea and Man United.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, like, I was always saying on this pod, you know, Man United are having a terrible season, Chelsea having a terrible season, but Chelsea are not 10 points worse than Man United, which they've been for most of the season. And to my point earlier in the pod, it's starting to level out in terms of like teams who were getting away. Chelsea were putting in decent performances and losing games. Yeah, and Man United were putting in terrible performances and winning games, and they're starting to level out now to the point where they're level on points here. Yeah. And Chelsea above them goal difference wise. But if Man United, honestly, I mean, we've already said it's done for Ten Hag, X, Y, and Z. But like, talk about finding new lows. Losing Crystal Palace 4-0 was a new low. Finishing beneath Chelsea after you was giving it to them all season, everything you said about Chelsea would now apply to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gary, £1 billion bottle jobs.
Pochettino.
Yeah. All that Gary £1 billion bottle job stuff, it's all right. If United lose the FA Cup final, that line, there has to be a similar line for United.
Yeah.
You know, it's been as bad as season.
Yeah. It has been. And look, I think Chelsea obviously 5-0 against West Ham, London derby. I mean, West Ham would. I mean, Chelsea were able to play at walking pace, but my only real gripe with Pochettino, is that it's taken him 34 games to find his best 11.
Yeah.
So the season ends in 3 games, and you've only just found your best.
We should have seen Noni way earlier in the season.
Yeah. And again, I'm on to this, whether that's because Noni just wasn't
serious,
or whatever, or Poch wasn't trusting him.
To be fair, he was right to give Raheem as much time as he did, but there was other players who was getting minutes out there that really did deserve it.
I think stumbling upon Enzo being out of the team and Gallagher now being in there alongside Caicedo, not playing as like a number 10 further forward. I think the only position that kind of needs a bit of changing in there is Mudryk.
Yeah.
On that left.
I don't know what you do with him though.
If Nkunku got some minutes on the weekend, they might move Jackson out to the left.
Nkunku down the centre,
or do it the other way round. Gusto came back and got some minutes. So yeah, I think things are looking up for Chelsea, but like you say, their fans are tentative because they got Forest away on Saturday.
Yeah, they could easily lose.
Then they got Brighton away. Like it could go up in the air. And on the West Ham side, David Moyes has announced he's leaving.
Yeah. I think, and I was backing David Moyes earlier in the season, and I still back him in the sense that like West Ham know what they have with David Moyes. They're gonna be nowhere near relegation, and they're gonna be fighting for European places. Yeah, and the opposite to that now is David Moyes is taking some batterings. He's not just losing games. He's not just losing 2-1, 1-0. When they do lose this year, it's by 3 or 4 goals. And the football...
He gave his reason for that, though.
Yeah, for Declan Rice. Which he obviously is 100% correct on. But I do think, though, that it's probably fair for West Ham and David Moyes to part ways, because David Moyes will get another job in the Premier League.
100%.
Yeah, and if West Ham want to start playing attractive football, and that's on them, go find a good manager. It's
meant to be Lopetegui, isn't it?
Yeah. Which I think is interesting because he's rejecting Bayern Munich for West Ham.
Yeah.
Lopetegui's a good manager, but don't.
He had a nice stint at Wolves.
Don't trade David Moyes for Lopetegui to be 12th, 11th.
But if you are going to trade David Moyes, it should be for someone with Lopetegui's pedigree.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be for a Graham Potter.
The drop off from Lopetegui to Moyes won't be that high.
Yeah,
or shouldn't be that high because he does have the pedigree. But West Ham don't then come crying about we miss Moyes and that's all I'll say.
I don't want to hear any West Ham fan tell me that.
But they've been terrible. This 2024, they've been terrible.
Yeah.
They've been terrible, and that's lost Moyes' job, or mutual separation, or whatever it is.
But I, in the same way that I think it might be best for all parties, because now Moyes can have his last home game on Saturday.
Yeah,
he can get the reception,
the love that he deserves
for what he's done for that club, and the trophy that he won there after 50, 60 years or whatever. It's
Moyes at Crystal Palace after Glasner loses his first.
Moyes at Brentford. Thomas Frank will go somewhere.
Yeah.
Um,
Moyes at Brentford is
guaranteed.
It's bang on.
But look, we'll move it on. Obviously, yeah, Chelsea could end up playing Europa League. I think neither Chelsea or Man United want to play Conference League.
Yeah. I would love Man United.
Yeah,
to
one
get
team that,
conference.
again, upturning form. You were calling for the gaffer to be sacked. And again, it just showed another one of those times where you should just listen to what I'm telling you.
No, I never once called for him to sit. I said
You said he should.
I said if Newcastle want to break into the top 4, they need to move on.
Burnley versus Newcastle. Newcastle winning 4-1. Burnley, I mean, your season's on the line. This is a home game to stay in the Premier League, and you're 3-0 down at halftime. Game over, finished. But and there's nothing more I want to say on that because I will just cuss out company. But on the Newcastle side, they make Europa League. No, you can't tell me that's not a successful season.
No, it's a successful season if they make Europa League because they were down in the dumps. They were
languishing. You were like to me, they must have lost double-digit games.
Yeah, and they have.
I checked the table. I think it's 13 they lost.
Yeah.
It was 13 games.
Yeah. So it's an incredible job from Eddie Howe in the end because he was slugging it with Miley and all these long staff in midfield and he was slugging it with those guys when they had injuries and United fans will stick on to us. Oh, we have so many injuries. Newcastle been there with the injuries. Brighton the same.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea. So I will have to give a semi my bad to Eddie Howe because as I was just saying earlier in this pod, if we're talking about consistency, when big players are out, that's for the manager to step up, X's and O's, get guys ready, 100%. give guys responsibilities, give them jobs that they know they can do, and so they can excel in their roles. And
it's where
and he's done that.
Your system is. We're really gonna find out if your system can run.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
If your best players are out, but your system is still efficient, you're a good manager.
You're a good manager, and he's proven to be, for sure, a good manager, a manager good enough to get people to play. Not just winning football, but to scrape points that will really fight for competition. 60, 70 points. Another 60-point season from Newcastle, to be fair, is they were languishing. 30 points, however many losses in a row, Rafa Benitez type of stuff. And, he's done very well, I must admit. And look, Newcastle, the same suspects. Gordon, Isak,
Wilson. I think that's 2 and 2 in this.
Yeah.
He'll have more goals than Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus needs serious. But shout out to Newcastle, man. I think they're gonna be ones to watch really for the summer as well. Because
already reports saying Bruno G wants a move to Arsenal.
Yeah, because they affect so much about Tottenham's game plan and potentially Man United's game plan and
Tottenham aren't getting any players from Newcastle.
Not even about getting players from Newcastle, but if Newcastle have a good summer, Tonali's back. Yeah, pending another case, but Tonali's back. And say one of them, say Bruno goes or Isak goes for big money, and Newcastle reinvest that money into decent players, decent team. That's Man United's competition. Yeah. That's Tottenham's competition for 4th place.
Man United's a bit different because we've seen Pogba go there when they don't have Champions League football.
Yeah,
Man United, Casemiro.
I'm not even talking about in terms of signing players. I'm just talking about in terms of Premier League position.
Okay,
If Newcastle have a good summer, Eddie Howe runs it back. Yeah, he doubles down. Obviously, Gordon. These guys are going to stay. Harvey Barnes will be more fit, and he gets another midfielder.
Man United, Tottenham have to catch.
Newcastle, if Newcastle have a better summer than Tottenham, if Newcastle have a better summer than United, they've got a system in place. They've got a manager in place. They've got some solidarity in the team. Get a better winger than Almiron type of stuff. Yeah. That's who Man United, Tottenham, Villa should be worried about.
Yeah. Look, that a fully fit Newcastle starting 11.
Yeah, they haven't had that.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Pope, Trippier, Shaw, Botman.
Yeah, exactly.
Livramento,
exactly.
Burn or what? Joe Linton, Bruno G.
Yeah, Willock off the bench.
Harvey Barnes ain't even playing because he's playing Isak and Wilson.
Yeah.
If Tonali doesn't play,
that's what I'm saying. If all these guys come back, it's a serious for Tottenham. For all these guys who are trying to chase for top 4, that's a serious team that you're gonna have to get past and get more points. Then,
and I mean their home form
Yeah, it
And
will always be nuts.
I'm confident they'll do that again next season.
Mm.
St. James's is just becoming a harder and harder place to go and get points from. But yeah, shout out Newcastle, shout out Eddie Howe. I've been backing you the whole time. So one manager that's doing what he does in top 4 races, Unai Emery.
Unai.
Again, we said that after the European hangover, they lost at home to Olympiacos on Thursday, that they would go and lose to Brighton. Brighton would get their bounce back. De Zerbi's now coming out saying, I want to stay. And look, that was one of the worst performances I think I've seen from Aston Villa this season.
Yeah, the hangover was real.
Yeah. Like Brighton just cooked them.
Yeah, the hangover was real.
Dingra it was like watching AFCON.
Yeah.
He was
He's back in his back in his bag.
Won the penalty. Obviously, João Pedro missed the penalty, scored the rebound, and they came away with a 1-0 win. But I think top 4 it's wrapped up.
That's the good thing about Villa is they showed enough consistency in the season and at the right points in the season where it's not that they've won the top 4 race, but they've just done enough where Tottenham and the rest of these man have just thrown it away. They don't want it anymore. You know, like Emery
if you're in the top 4 race and you lose 4 on the bounce,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like Emery has outmanaged Ange and these lot overall, but in this run-in, it's been so weird. Like you're competing against the guy who's lost 4 on the bounce. You know, So, but Villa do deserve their love. They do deserve their credit. I think they are a top 4 team. They have been a top 4 team this season, and one of the biggest things that surprised me about Villa is they were in there from the jump and they've never left.
Yeah.
You know, so that deserves massive respect. And Emery, to be fair, his X's and O's, even though he's lost these kind of games, he lost a couple of players, and he's brought in these Rodgers guys, and you know he's brought in all of these guys to try and make it work, and he's done enough.
Yeah,
but it's all about De Zerbi. To be fair play to him. Got the team, got the guys, got Pedro back in there.
Yeah.
Doing the things.
Finally decided, I'll just play my best team.
But Brighton are weird, man. Like they're a good team and they play good football, but the strings of performances, the strings of results that they've had, like you know, and Brighton still have a lot to say for European football. You know, Chelsea, United kind of thing. Like they still got a lot to say. But
I think Brighton is another one that's a team that's been kind of killed by injuries.
Yeah, exactly.
Estupiñán hasn't had a solid run of games. Mitoma,
Solly March,
all of them.
Yeah.
They've been out.
I forgot Mitoma was a Barclays Premier League footballer.
Evan Ferguson.
Yeah.
Like Dingra went off to AFCON.
When anybody goes down for Brighton, you're out for the season.
Yeah.
And Cesso's just come back and he's looking like a good player.
Yeah.
You know, he was always, but like he's just come back from an ACL.
Fatty was finding some form, got injured.
Yeah. It's not easy.
But yeah, shout out Brighton, man. They bounced back. They got that win. And they're moving it on to what was a relegation battle, a game that Nottingham Forest had to win. They went to Sheffield. They got the job done. They won 3-1. Sheffield United set a record.
Yeah, most goals conceded. Yeah, they suck.
They've now conceded 100 league goals.
Yeah, they suck. Cristiano hold that.
And the
Who's the guy
previous
before
record was in
Wilder?
a 42 game season.
That Higginbottom guy, that's a different era. You're looking back now, was that ever going to work?
Yeah. Come on, man. Well, look, Sheffield knew they sold their best player to Marseille. They sold Zander Berger to Burnley.
Yeah.
Their plan was always to go back down. And
they'll Leicester see it. They won't win the league, but they will come. I think they will.
I don't know, man.
I think they will.
The Championship's not a league you can say that about.
It's true. It's the abyss. I've always said it. So it's a dark.
I wouldn't have even said that about Leicester.
No.
Leicester did well to keep a lot of their players.
That's the thing. Once Iheanacho and Ndidi and these lot stayed, I was like,
But Sheffield don't have those kind of players.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, Leicester lost Maddison, Barnes, Tielemans, Evans.
Yeah.
All of these guys, they all left.
To be fair, when I look at that Sheffield team, but the thing is, now Cameron Archer will go down there and be a monster.
Yeah, Brereton Diaz.
Yeah. He'll go down there and be a monster.
Gustavo.
You know, Oli McBurney will have 15.
He will. But yeah, look, Forest, they pretty much confirmed their safety now. Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah.
Nice goals.
It's not even the goals. It's so, I mean, the goals are very nice, but like he even had a couple chances saved by the keeper, where it's just like it's automatic for him
Hit
now.
the post.
He's been working, he's been drilling that in training so clearly.
Armand's always been on to me about Callum Hudson-Odoi.
He thinks he should have stayed.
Not that he should have stayed, but just that he's a good player.
Yeah.
And obviously, I've just never really seen it. Like,
Yeah.
There are a couple of moments he had at Chelsea, but there was a point where he had 4 goals in 4 years. And he was a winger.
And they were saying you should do his GCSEs. It's not too late.
Yeah, exactly. But I think he had an Achilles injury, which is like always, especially
Tough
when
to
you're
come
young,
back
one of the
from.
worst
Yeah,
injuries
yeah.
to get.
Mentally as well at that age.
Yeah. But for him to come back, for him to play the way he is, you can see the quality there.
Yeah. He's got something. He's got something for sure.
And yeah, he's basically confirmed for his safety with that. Last couple of games, Luton versus Everton. Again, not much to say. Luton had to win that game. They're probably done now.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult for them. And Brentford versus Fulham. Again, 0-0, boring. Only thing I can really say on this, Tony, goalless in 10 games.
Yeah. He'll go United.
That price tag's dropping fast.
He'll go United. United are licking their lips.
Tottenham.
Yeah. Oh, Tony at Tottenham, I can see that as well.
I don't want him to go to Tottenham. I'd rather him go to United. Because he would just cause us a problem.
Yeah. And he would score, but he would just take over the Harry Kane mantle of scoring penalties. And
it will be that, like, you should have signed me.
Yeah.
But of course, there's going to be clubs for Tony because they know what he can do. But goalless in 10 games it's not a good look.
It's not. I shoot him some bail only because I say he started playing football in January 17th. Like it must be so weird trying to pick up some sort of consistency and rhythm when half the season's been played.
Yeah,
half the team you knew last year is injured.
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff. But there is no real excuse. He's not really shown a huge amount of quality this season, but he has shown that even in that little spell that he had, he can score goals still.
Yeah, 100%.
So somebody will take a risk on him. But if he's saying 250 a week, boy, like
it ain't going to be 70, 80 million.
That's a big risk. It's not going to be 70, 80 million, and it shouldn't be.
But that's what the figures we were talking
about before.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting how quickly this transfer gets done wherever he goes.
Yeah.
Because like he's come out so many times. We were clowning him for like how many interviews he said he wants to leave. Like if he's doing preseason with Brentford,
he can't do another season at Brentford.
It's an issue. But he shouldn't be doing preseason.
Yeah, he shouldn't.
If he's still doing a couple preseason games with Brentford, it
would be like what was it that you were saying about Eddie? You were like, Eddie should be saying his goodbyes. Match week 38.
Yeah.
Saying it to all the staff.
Yeah.
All the
round of applause.
Staff,
Eddie's round of applause at the final game at Everton should be massive.
Yeah.
Huge coming around to the fans. Yeah, 100%. Tears coming down his face.
He knows.
Agreed.
He knows. It's already been done.
Fabrizio, alert. Yeah. Agreed, person. Nothing left to sort out.
Yeah, that's what it should be for Tony. Because he's made it so obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, the MVPs and rookies of the week, massive week of basketball.
Yeah, massive week for basketball.
Playoffs.
Edwards.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards.
100%.
Cooking.
Knicks. I'll give the Knicks an MVP for getting through round one.
Jalen Brunson gets an MVP from me.
Doing their thing.
What is it? Five consecutive 40+ point games.
Yeah, he's balling. I'll give Lando Norris an MVP, very first race win. I was telling you, man. He was talking to me about like Anthony Edwards and winning. Like these sports, NBA, basketball, football's kind of the same. To be fair, like you can be a very, very, very good player, very, very, very talented, but to win, to get over the hump, like Lando Norris has been a very good driver for the last 3-4 years now, up and coming driver, first ever race win. It takes a minute. It takes a lot. The level is so high. Even Edwards, man. If Edwards gets it this year, he might not get another one, But if he gets it this year, he could also catapult himself into. Once you already have won the basis of one.
The difference in the NBA is that if Edwards gets it this year, guys are going to want to play with Edwards.
Yeah, or teams are saying like, man, let's team up, let's take this guy down.
Yeah, true.
True. But anyway, we'll see how all this stuff plays out. Even football MVPs got to give an MVP to Glasner, Olise, Mateta.
Yeah, I had Mateta. His goal scoring run.
Yeah.
When strikers come out of nowhere, Muniz.
yeah.
Go on
they
this
need
goal scoring run.
Tomiyasu, I'm gonna give him an MVP. Did your
Oh yeah, didn't
thing.
even speak about Tomiyasu.
Tomiyasu did your... Hey, Real Madrid champions.
Yeah.
MVP from me.
Yeah.
Barcelona duds.
Yeah.
You know.
I've got Ten Hag as a rookie.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Awful performance.
I mean, Will Hughes.
they are one of the most entertaining teams in the league, though.
Man United. Yeah,
or
for
the most
sure.
entertaining, should I say? And I've got a rookie for Tottenham fans.
Yeah.
They never learn. They never ever learn.
Gakpo might actually get an MVP from me. Like, dunking on Tottenham.
Yeah, Romero specifically.
Yeah. Allow it.
Like Tottenham fans, no matter who their manager is, no matter who the players on the pitch are, they will always tell you that they're coming back. And Tottenham fans are talking about what Ange needs to do in the summer and what signings they need to make to compete for the title. I'm like, are you guys insane? What's going on over there? Like,
that is so Tottenham. That is so Tottenham.
worry about signing players to compete for Champions League.
That is so Tottenham.
Don't worry about the title because you're a long way.
Do you know what's
from that.
happening? Unfortunately, Van der Ven absolutely blows his knee out pre-season. They start with Tottenham start.
Romero Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. First day of next season, I'll put a bet with anybody £5. Romero Jackson start.
That's Dizazi Badia show. It's just a calamity waiting to happen. Doggy's not fit.
Hey, I give Kai Havertz an MVP for winning that penalty, man. Been a long time since we've had a striker with that sort of like I don't know. It's not dark arts even, but like
It was Gabriel Jesus last year.
But at this
He
point,
was winning some nice pens.
He was winning some nice pens, but not at this stage of the season, like where it's like just the cleverness of it, how cute it is. Like it's been a long time since we've had that element to us. I feel like, as we were saying the other day about what Arsene Wenger would pick and choose to have in a team, like very rarely did we have guys in run-ins. Like guys would stay on their feet for some reason. Guys would try and you know. Yeah, I'm happy now that we get the shitty penalties that are 100% penalties.
Anyone else?
Nah, I think
I mean,
I'm
we
all
could
out.
almost give one to Leverkusen every week.
Yeah.
The fact that team still hasn't lost.
Yeah.
They won away in their Europa League semi-final in Roma. They got the home leg to come. Xhaka scored again.
Screamer.
But yeah, I mean, Champions League tonight. And Harry Kane. This is how I'm going to end this pod. You must rise.
At the Bernabeu.
He must. He must.
I don't know if he will.
He won't.
I don't know if he will.
He won't. I know he
Cover
won't.
House back.
I know he won't. But he must.
You know there's a last minute Harry Kane's through on goal. Cover how has he got there?
Yeah.
How has he got back?
Yeah. Wrapped his leg round.
Yeah.
But Harry, for your career, for your legacy, for everyone that wants to talk about you and tell people how you're the best striker in the world and how you're world class, do not go to Bayern Munich and then trophyless in your first season.
It's not even, yes, it's that. Don't even turn up to the England camp with 54 goals to your name in 45 games and nothing.
You may as well stay at Tottenham for that.
And nothing.
You could have stayed at Tottenham for
to
that.
show for it. Dapping everybody up as the commentators are speaking about you as you step up to take your first penalty. Yo, England captain, what?
Yeah.
55 goals.
Yeah, reciting all his goal scoring records and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's not a single trophy mentioned.
Full stop.
Yeah. You must rise. And Rudiger won't let you.
Yeah.
But you must rise. You must rise. Thank you guys for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, like the video, let us know what you think. Let us know if you think Man City are going to win every game. And if you're listening on Spotify, follow us on there. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. We got 2 more weeks left, and we're just praying. Marco Silva,
do something for me.
Please, Craven Cottage.
Do something for me.
But yeah, we'll see you guys next week, and peace.